Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Fan us the weak to cherish. Give us vision lest we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father, grant through wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Land we love, Jamaica, 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 land we love. You may be seated. Thank you. It is indeed a wonderful morning. It's bleaky on the outside, but we are thanking God for bringing all of us here this morning. And today is the 13th day of March. The year started yesterday, and we are in the month of March. So, no, sir, you have it wrong. It's former Mayor of Ramsey's birthday. Her birthday is the 13th of March, and mine is the 13th of April. So, but we are thanking you all for coming out this morning, and we will now move to the agenda. I'm hoping that we'll have a fruitful meeting this morning. We are now at item number 3, apologies for absence. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Worship. I want to apologize for Councillor Wilson, who will be late, and Councillor Omar Robinson will be late.
You know, Councillor, I'm going to say it, this is actually our first year anniversary as being councillors, and we have to be here. It's now, we can't be later, it's after 10 now. Councillors should be here early enough. But we need to manage the people's business a little bit better. You have to come to the meetings. This meeting is held only once a month, and this is a bad example you're setting for your first anniversary. I'll speak to that later on. Any other apologies? Any other apologies?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I would like to apologize for our Director of Finance, or Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Richards, who is unavoidably absent today, as well as Mr. Brown, our MIS specialist, who has an engagement in Kingston, and also Ms. Stewart from SDC, who has tendered an apology.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We will move to... yes, sir, sorry.
Yeah, I want to apologize for Councillor Evans. I think he is representing the mayor function this morning.
Thank you, sir. That's the apology I want to hear. Any other apologies? Nevertheless, we move to item 4. We take corrections before we take the confirmation. Page 1. Yes, sir. Yes, we didn't have any meeting until this one seems to be the one from October, which we are just confirming. Okay, we move to page 1. That was the agenda. Page 1 now. Page 2.
Mr. Chairman, as it relates to the street lights, we will
Page
Has there been any progress as it relates to the last paragraph pertaining to the YSEC program and auditing? Auditing of the streetlights.
applications and so on to them. Page 4. Discussions, page 7, page 8, page 9, page 9. I see here the matter of the Integrity Commission coming in to do the thing. You just want to report on that, sir? Say anything on that?
Through the chair, as you are all aware,
Turn the mics on. The mic on.
through the chair, as you are all aware, the statutory declaration of assets is due on the 31st of March. So far, I would say that we have received only 4 officers are really coming and place their assets, well, the forms in the Dropbox. Councillors, I implore you to speedily get the information and drop it off. The Integrity Commission is not an entity that you must play with.
And you should know.
Yes, sir. We have had meetings. We had a virtual meeting in February. We had a virtual meeting which was very fruitful.
Same thing on page.
The recording has been
First
sent
one on
to
the
each
agenda is the
councillor.
same thing was
So if you want to
confirmed already.
review, you can review the recording. And
Page 10.
file the
ahead.
assets. Thank you.
Yeah, man. The first one. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. page 13. But just before I go to the matter on page, because before I close, the matters are right. Page 12. Just to ask a question. It could be for the general public, arising from the minutes there, because when we do this certificate of completion for subdivisions, and the reason I raise it because on the notices of motion, I am going to be giving notice that I will raise a matter pertaining to some subdivisions in the parish. That at what point, when you're issuing the certificate of completion, can persons ask that the subdivisions be taken over, or at what point do you generally ask? And I'll tell you why I ask it. I have 2 subdivisions before me now, or 2 requests for takeover, where the owners of the subdivision have died, and these subdivisions are over 50 odd years old. And there's absolutely no excuse why we can't take them over, because we have allowed some of these subdivisions now to open roads into different areas and things, so it's our responsibility. But I just want to ask, when is it that people have to ask? And if they ask, why is it that we are not accepting of some of these? Because the question that has been asked of me is that people who live in these subdivisions pay their motor vehicle taxes. They live in there, that's where they drive from and all of that, and they can't get their road fixed. Why and all that question. But how is it and when do they ask for it? You can ponder it. I will ask it again under questions or at the time when we're discussing it, all right? Just to get, so you can have more time to think about the answer you want to give. Is this a matter there? Yeah, go ahead, sir.
That's the same matter, Chairman. Chairman, I want to support you on that matter to ask the question to extend it about the matter how we deal with the backside schemes.
All right.
There's various amount of them across the parish,
Okay.
and a lot of them are not turned over yet.
And you live in one?
Precisely.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
But I do believe in taking over these schemes, there are certain criteria that has to be met before we take over these schemes. So
I'm not opening a can of worms now, but we will have that discussion, because I think it's necessary. No, I know, because that's why I said some subdivisions in the parish. That's why I said some. Because for other reasons, I'll ask that question afterwards. Conditions apply. All right? Page 13.
Page 13, sir. On the matter of question which you asked, I would like to know what is the update, because I would have seen road patching, and I can speak for my division. I would have seen subpar patching. And I don't know who or what, but I would like to know if we have been provided with the list and if the approvals that the council should give have been given to that noble question that you asked in last month's meeting on the question.
CEO, you want to answer? Do you want to read from this? Because it was the same thing.
Just to indicate that we would have presented this in the infrastructure, where we got a letter from NWA, and I will actually read it. It says the government of Jamaica, through the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation and the National Works Agency, has commenced the SPARK program. The main contractor is China Harbour Engineering Company Limited. In 2024, the GOJ, through the Constituency Development Fund, conducted a series of community consultation meetings across the parishes/constituencies, resulting in residents recommending a number of local and community roads to be upgraded. We write to express our appreciation to the Municipal Corporation for the participation and support of the program. The following recommendation of the local community road by the Member of Parliament were asked to submit priority list of 10 roads from the recommended list. Pursuant to Section 3 of the Main Road Act, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Works Agency, upon order of the Ministry, the Minister of Work has empowered to carry out grading works and a list of roads recommended for the consultation meeting. Kindly be advised that we have commenced work under the subject program and will be issuing work order number 1. The following local community roads are scheduled to be upgraded within the parish. And they have listed in Manchester Northwest, it would be Beverly Green, Battersea, and Evergreen. And in Manchester Central, Barnstable, and Berwick Town. As we ask for more work, or as we issue more work order for the upgrading of the local community roads within the parish, we are committed to inform the municipal corporation to look forward to your continued support. And it is signed by E.G. Hunter, the Chief Executive Officer.
Is this question arising from that question?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I want to reflect on the minutes as it goes back to the ministry, if I am correct. But I want to remind this council that it was actually 10 roads that was due for each constituency. But second to that, Chairman, I am sure, I'm not an engineer, but I am sure in my 9 years in this council, and one of the councils who do the most road, I have 13 new ones that I can talk about, that we in this council, or the council on a whole, have a certain standards that we meet. And if those standards are not met, then payments and performance bans will not be issued. So from what I have seen from the road patchings done by whomever, whether the member of parliament or from NWA, they are far, far below the standards. And I want that if it is that we as the local authority have to write them to remind them, both the NWA and whichever agencies that partake in those patching, that from what we have seen, and the persons have complained to us as the council as a first contact to say, what is it that we have done to the road? So if we just want to plug out holes or whatever the case is, there must be some minimum standards that should be there.
And brought their legs and all of them stuff there, and nobody has any answer. And until really the citizens of this parish knows they're right, then we will be in some serious problems. Go ahead, Councillor Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am not sure if I should be happy, elated, or what, but the two roads
should be joyful.
are joyful. The two roads that have been selected in Central Manchester are two roads in the Knockpatchett division. And as you rightly say, these two roads are parochial road. And I happen to be driving past on both occasions when personnel from the China Harbour construction groups were looking on the road. Now, the first instant, the Member of Parliament was not there, and they had no idea where these roads were. And I was the one who would take them on the road. On the second occasion, we were passing and I noticed the gathering. When we stopped, the Member of Parliament, along with the personnel from China Harbour and personnel from NWA, was on the road. And I was looking around to see our CEO, which the road is a municipal road, and nobody from the parish council was there in dialogue with anybody. So my question is, one, I'm not sure if we can get any clarification on why those two roads was fixed, not against them being fixed.
Are going to be fixed, so they're not fixed.
Are going to be fixed, not against them, but knowing to the fact that the Berwick Town Road, we spent, I think it was either 1 or 2 million to patch out the first part of the road, that would be more than 200 meters of road, was patched and fixed properly, and now to be told that that will be done all over. Personally, I think that's a waste of money, waste of taxpayers' money. Likewise for the Barnstable Road, the front part of it was fixed by us, by the parish council. So I'm wondering what's the logics behind it. And I want to be clear, I'm not against the road being fixed. But I personally think there were more suitable roads in central Manchester that needed to be fixed.
Yes, Councillor Robinson.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
And I'm in agreement with you, Mayor, with how the procedures are done pertaining to the parish council roads. I would want to say to my colleague councillor that he has two roads, and if we are to do an assessment of the roads in Manchester, South Manchester is on top in terms of deplorable roads, most deplorable roads. And to know that this first phase is out and South Manchester is not on it in any form. Mr. CEO, I would love for you to get us a full listing so that I can blast my concern in other media, because we need to know what is happening in South Manchester. We would have had consultation at Newport, and some of the roads that we signed off on as community groups, as members of the communities and leaders, we are not seeing those roads on any website. So I am wondering, is spark just a word, or is going to really spark in South Manchester? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Smith, be careful. The next MP sitting beside you, you know. But nevertheless, so the true recording secretary, I would agree with the councillor that we should ask them for a full list of the roads that they are considering for the parish and in what phase they will do these roads. So at least, okay, go ahead. Let the soup speak at it.
Morning.
Morning.
All right, so based on the question, Mr. Chairman, that you would have asked, I would have reached out to the Chief Technical Director at the Ministry.
Okay.
And he would have had dialogue with Mr. Varden from the NWA. He's in charge of the Spark program. And the communication from him would be that based on the consultation, there was a listing that was generated. There was further consultation with the members of Parliament. So the listing that we are seeing on the Spark website is from the consultation with the members of Parliament. However, that is not the final listing. They are actually in the process of doing assessment, and as soon as the assessments are completed, the work orders are generated. So this is one of the such work orders. What you would have said, also is that upon selection of the roads, those roads that have been gazetted to be taken over by the NAA for the period of implementation. Right? After the projects are completed, then they'll be handed over back to the corporation. So what based on that, what I can safely say is that these roads and the work order number 1 that was issued would have been gazetted and handed over to the NAA for the implementation of the project. Right? There has been no formal communication with the Roads and Works Department. However, Mr. Varden is saying that that is something that should have happened, and he's not sure where the communication would have broken down between NAA and the Roads and Works, because the policy that they are working off is that there should be consultation with the project officers and the Roads and Works Department as it relates to the roads that will be fixed in the parish. I know that what is being said does not answer all the questions that may arise from what is happening with the Spark program, but even speaking to Mr. Varden and the Chief Technical Director, they are not, well, they couldn't give me a fulsome explanation as to how we achieve the program. So he would have endeavored to have further dialogue with myself and the Chief Technical Director as it relates to the Spark program.
More questions and answers. I will take the lady first.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Put your mic on for me. Go ahead.
Protect me,
I'm protecting you because I'm going to have him evicted if he continues.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Chair, listen to my colleague speak. As one of the persons who sat in the consultation, I know that as a councillor, I know he's new, but the consultation occurred a little before you became a councillor.
No, sir. When he became a councillor.
When he's a councillor. All right, so what I...
Shh. Councillor? Go ahead, madam.
Thank you, Your Worship. So from what I do as a councillor, I know within my division there is this road that is going to repair. I am not going to put my road maintenance on that particular road because it would be waste of resources. Once we are aware of the roads that are recommended, I would say to my colleagues, nobody put our little pittance on it because it's coming. The spark is here whether we like it or not. Some people see it as just a spark, but it is here, so we just have to work with the spark until it burn up the place.
All right. No, Councillor Robinson, please. Councillor Smith.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Question. So, just my chain of thought when you said that the order was gazetted and the roads were handed over to NAA. In the event that drain cleaning and debushing needs to be done on those roads, no. Would it be the responsibility of the NAA or the council to bush or do the drain cleaning for that road, since as they have been handing over during the period of time, if the work has not been completed and it is in serious state and needs to be fixed?
Thank you. Councillor Smith does really speak once on a matter, you know. So I'll take Councillor Oliphant first.
Thank you, Chairman. As it relates to the Barnstaple Road, I know it is going to be done. But it has been done for water connection by the NWC for the past 12 years. The last time the road was patched, it was patched up to the point where no NWC connection was or is. Now, it's stupidness for us to go and put in a road, and then after that, they're going to dig it up to put in pipe main. So there needs to be proper coordination that the pipe mains being laid, and after that is done, then the road can be finished. So I am appealing that there be proper consultation with you, so that we can coordinate the approach to building out that road, the remainder of the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Smith, 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I am a bit disappointed in my colleague in making a statement like that. Because I was at the consultation and
She forget.
well, I forget. And all the councillors, I can count the councillors, each councillor gave 10 roads. Are you saying to us, my goodly friend, that once you suggest a road, we don't pay that road any mind because the member of parliament or it's going to be fixed under the Spark program? Is that what you're saying? I hope that's what you're saying. And moving forward now, are we saying that seeing as most of these roads would be parochial roads, and based on the gadgeting, are we saying that we shouldn't pay those roads any mind because we don't know when they will be gadgeted to be fixed under the Spark program?
Let me see if I can get all of this into some perspective. 10 roads were submitted by each councillor. And first of all, prior to, the minister said he gave no instructions for us to send in any 10 roads. And that is water under the bridge, because I can't fight him for what him never said. However, the consultations were held. Some roads have been selected or considered for repairs. What I'd really want, Madam Secretary, is for the NAA to write to us to tell us the roads. I'm not going on no website. They're supposed to have manners enough to write to the council and say, considering the Sparks program or whatever it is, we are considering to do these roads which are really under your jurisdiction. It has been gazetted and such a date, and send us a copy of the gazette order, right? So we know what to do, so that we can tell our people, for example, that the road is slated to be done under the MP's program, and so we can't do nothing on the road because it will be a waste of money. We can put the money somewhere else. Without that being said, we are all speculating. We are all speculating, you know. But my problem is, at what point is it that having taken the road from us, and I don't have anything in writing to say that they have taken the road from us. At what point do you hand back the road to us, and in what condition? And my problem also is, have you consulted with the people on these roads? Because right now, I see people doing road and covering up conduits for NWC and all different qualities, and they have to, covering up hydrants, whatever it is, and have to be digging them back out. The problem is that you must have proper consultation. If you don't want to talk to us, to sit down and meet with us, send us letters. We will read the letters when they come. But you can't tell us that you're doing this and you're doing that and you have no answers. Because I know up to today, some roads were done from 1991-92 in this parish, which was done by NAA, and up until now they keep telling us they handed them back to us, and we can find absolutely no proof in this house, in this chamber, to show that they have handed them to us, and whose responsibilities, right? But so the real problem is that, so me know you don't really make anything bother you. But I think it is total disrespect for your office, the office of the Chief Engineering Officer for the parish, that they do not send you the updated thing and they don't have the meetings and say, all right, we have selected these 10 roads. Because I have a serious question to ask you now. Because they're doing the 2 roads, Barnstable and Berrytown. And the money on Berrytown is $90 million and the one on Barnstable is less. And Berrytown is a shorter road than Barnstable Road.
We know it.
And so I want to know what are the things that are going to be done on these roads. But you know what the problem is? They choose the roads. I don't think they've done all the engineering aspects of where water pipes would be, where all of that is. So we're going to ask them that they send us those information so at least I can tell my people Because I know the people in Three Chains, and we talk it loud, have been calling for some repairs to be done on the road. The MP says that that road is on our Sparks program. I don't know our Sparks program. I haven't seen it. So we want to get the listing so that we can advise the community people properly to say that these roads are going to be done and hence we can't do any repairs on them. Councillor Mitchell, last word. Closing that matter.
I do accept the fact that I have spoken on this already, but as a person who started the discussion, Chairman, as I said, the soup is a very cool, calm man. But I listened keenly to what the soup said, and the soup said, and I'm asking the question publicly in this council, even to the Minister of Responsibility, Minister Morgan, the soup said after there was a consultation. First, the council was asked to give 10 roads. Then there was a consultation for 10 roads per constituency. And then there was another consultation in private and secrecy with members of parliament. I am asking that that be publicized. And I don't repeat, I'm not the council listening and heard.
And corrections, you know, I don't want you to set up my soup. The soup never said that.
But I'm saying, Chairman, so I'm asking that the consultation with the members of parliament be made public. Because I am a voter still, even as an elected official. So, Chairman, I'm asking, even with the gazetted order, I'm asking that the correspondence, if we have received them, and asking...
Councillor Mitchell, I am for the protection of my soup. I'm going to ask her to withdraw the statement, and I'm going to ask the Secretary how... I will see if I can dictate to the Secretary how to ask the question. Yeah, so media, please don't carry what the councillor said a while ago. Please, I'm begging you, if you're live, it's so you go. But Secretary, just to say that we're asking the procedures that was followed to arrive at the 10 roads. It's easy that way.
I will remember that, Chairman, so I will try.
Yeah. We're on a learning curve, so go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What I will say on the matter, Mr. Chairman, I also believe, as it relates to proper consultation with the parochial road with the parish councils. I don't know if in the other municipalities, right, the consultation that have been done, but I am not one that is going to hear that a road will be fixed in my division. And as long as, because you see, there's a difference between patching and total rehabilitation. And we have to get that clear, because sometimes we'll patch until the total rehabilitation comes. And therefore, I am in full support of any road in the Craighead, and I will say to my good friend in the Napatrick, if they have a problem and they want to send it up at the north, for the time being until they resolve, I will work with it. Because I know it will help me good in a few months.
Just hold on, please. Hold on. Councillor. You can't sit and talk, Councillor. You can't sit and talk. You can't sit and talk.
Mr. Chairman, we are being recorded and it is being streamed live. I don't want the councillor to misquote me. I did not say we are not grateful. I did not say that, so I want him to withdraw that statement.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I did not say that the councillor was not grateful enough, Mr. Chairman. I'm saying that if there is issues surrounding the roads that were selected, for the time being, if they want to work out those issues and start in the north, yes, and start in the north, I don't have a problem.
Councillors, all right. I think we have all gotten the gist of what we're saying, right? We're simple saying consultations must be had. That's simple thing. Because every councillor here, 15 of us that are here, we patch road, because that's all money we get, patching off roads. We don't get no big money to do no roads. Because I will tell them that irrespective of what they say they're going to do with $90 million, you give me $90 million now and I do 10 good roads in my division alone. right? But so be it. What it is that has to be done should be done. But all we are simply saying to the powers that be, send us the information ahead of time so we can know how we can plan in this council to do the works that we have to do. It's simple. All right? Matter close. Any other matter on page 13? No. Can we move to item 6? Report from agencies, and there's only one. I can't call the JCF an agency. No, they're really a supporting institution for us. So I'm going to ask Ms. Lloyd, Inspector Lloyd, if you can update us, whatever things you may want to say to us. And boy, I'm glad you wasn't in Porus last night. I'd have to go. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. For the period January 1 to March 8, the Manchester Division recorded 28 serious crimes in comparison to 40 for the same period for 2024. This indicates a decrease of 12 or 30%. 4 murders have been recorded in the division for the period in comparison to 7 for the same period in 2024. This represents a decrease of 3 or 43%. So overall, we are seeing a 30% decrease in major crimes for the parish.
Okay. That's your report. Okay, thanks. You may be seated, but I want to start. Today. 4 murders have been recorded. Can you name the areas that the murders have been recorded? Which district or area or whatever it is? I want that answer before I ask the other question.
You want me to answer?
Yeah, well, you can answer that for me.
Yes. The 4 murders have been recording within or in the Mandeville space. We have the 2 incidents at Levy Lane where that lights the firearm holder. And we have that one on Wards Avenue where the man was stabbed at the club. And we have one at Hartsfield.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll ask a question publicly, as I did ask last night. Because what I am seeing, every time there is a murder, we go curfew. No parties are allowed, no night are allowed, no big gathering are allowed. Because even my community in Royal Flat, where I was born and raised, families are contemplating whether or not they might have night or set up, which is a culture in Jamaica, for a loved one. And the problem is, and I will say it here, because everybody knows, we have been under curfew down in that here for probably a year now. The last murder that took place in that space, as far as I am concerned, the perpetrators or perpetrator has been killed. So as far as I'm concerned, that murder is cleared up. But the other problem and the questions I ask is, one, having had these 4 murders in Mandeville, have we put in any curfew or any withhold any parties from these areas? That sort of situation. And 2, what have we reaped from having these curfews? Because I want to ask the question I really want to ask, because no, this is going backwards. Because even in Porus, for example, where we had some murders last year, after the first murder, curfew was put in place. But other murders came after. So what is it that the curfews are healing? Because I heard yesterday from one of the officers that they're using statistics and all other things to put in this curfew, etc. Have we healed any firearm? Have we locked up anybody? Have we spoken to people about what has been happening and all of those stuff? Because we're still confused, you know. We're still confused. But the main problem is that I just want to know, a party will be held over in Nashville. The murder has been, the two, as a matter of fact, shooting, 3 persons were shot. As a matter of fact, 5 persons were shot, 2 dead. And 3 lives were spared. Having looked at all what has been happening in Manchester, will there be permission, and I want to hear yes or no, will there be permission to have the party in that space? Because it's right across from each other. This is a murder split scene, and one road divide, and this is a party scene. I just want to ask that question. Any other questions? You can answer that afterwards, Ms. Lyde. Councillor Mario.
Chairman,
I didn't see your answer.
as one of the councillors,
Probably because you're short.
in Porus, let me just say, I was happy with the meeting last night. But as the meeting turned out, you can feel what the people have been feeling. And as I said last night, Porus have been suffering for about 2 years. The economical belly of Porus have been wiped out for almost 2 years. One with the opening of the highway, and then with the curfews for the security reasons. I understand, and the police have said, Chairman, that they are working off intelligence and statistics. And you clearly stated them a while ago that the statistics have been shown that since October, there haven't been anything in this space. But prevention is better than cure, so I understand that. But I want to know, don't know if this suit can answer me now, or maybe she'll have to go back to her superior as an inspector. But I want to know what is the long-term solutions and strategies going forward. Because I hear by the grapevine that the police are saying that the curfews are what's keeping the murder down in Manchester itself. But I want to remind the JCF / the government that there have been 3 cases in the court of law about the prolonged confinement and to a space of the citizens, which is deemed illegal under the Constitution of Jamaica. We need to find a better way as to how we're going to deal with it. I have no problems with curfew because I'm mostly staying at home or in the confines of the Belfield division. Yeah. Yes. That's where right now I'm going to have my confinement.
Councillors.
But Chairman, on a serious note, it is unfair because the people are really feeling that pinch. And we must, I don't know if that's the way forward, but the police must come to have a dialogue to say we're going to do it this way, we're going to have it that way, and how we see that we can go forward. But having the people being completely wiped out economically is not the way forward.
Councillor Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just want to ask
Turn the mic on, please.
a few questions as they're related to resourcing and equipping the force with vehicle. Whose responsibility is that? The Mile Gully Division, which has where the Cottage Police Station is located, and that station serves over 52 districts. As a matter of fact, it is the widest policing division maybe in the Caribbean. And they have been out of a vehicle for some time now, right? And as a result of that, we're seeing, well, there have been a 30% decrease in serious crime, and we have seen where murder have been done. And overall, compared to last year, it was mentioned a while ago that we have a 30% decrease, but we don't want to be comforted by that and keeping the police stationary in their posts, right? Mobility must be the way forward. Domestic dispute have been on the up in the Mile Gully Division,
I heard of an incident the other day where there was some incident at the school and they called the station, and I mean the station is about less than a mile away from the school, and the police weren't able to respond. There was another incident where there was an incident all the way up in Cowick Park, domestic dispute again, and the police weren't able to respond. So I want to know who is responsible for equipping the station with vehicles.
Councillor Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Baker.
As my colleagues say, I don't think any councillor here is opposing to curfew, but rely proper dialogue and informing the citizens in a timely manner will help. And my reason for saying this, there was a setup, I think it was 2 Saturdays ago in
Hillside.
The police came and locked it down, and at the same time there was a setup in Cedar Grove, and it was allowed to continue. Now when the citizens are calling and asking why was there the lockdown of the curfew in Albion Square and the one in Cedar Grove, which is less than 400 meters away, was allowed to continue. As a councillor, what can I tell them was the rationale behind that?
Thank you, Your Worship. Inspector Lloyd, the meeting last night, I know it left an impression on the minds of the police. And the solution must be looked at going forward, where what will be the actions taken to work with the police and the community of Porus. Now, some time ago, I've read of a section in Montego Bay when they had those lengthy curfews. But they did not just have the curfews, they look at ways how to grow the community and how to build the community in spite of it being impacted by the lengthy curfews. Please, when you sit with your team, look at what is it the police can do to work with the people. I have to talk about Porus because Porus is my town. And I mean, if you were at that meeting last night, I don't think we see under 500, less than 500.
Yeah.
It would be 500 plus persons there. So everybody is crying to say, we want solution. But I know the police is going back to the drawing table, and we have to look at some ways to find the ideal solution to work with the people. So that too can be put on it. What is it the police can do with our community to grow it?
All right, Ms. Lloyd, when I raise the questions, you see, it's because when you look at the curfew order that is published every 2 days or every 3 days, if there are 15 communities named, 9 out of the 15 is in the Royal Flat Division. But the problem I have is that when people go to the station requesting permission to have a party or a dance or whatever it is that they asked, they said they didn't see the curfew and all of that, the orders and all that. The next thing they were told, go ask a councillor, ask the mayor. Now, if I don't know why you're having a curfew or if the curfew is being carried out, I don't know what to tell them. So, when I speak at the point where I am actually at wit's end because I don't know what to tell these people. I don't know what to tell Hearties. I don't know what to tell Gregor. I don't know what to tell Royal Flat. I don't know what to tell Comfort. I don't know what to tell Broadleaf. I go all the way down to Trinity Porus, you know. All of these spaces, I don't know what to tell them because I don't have any answers. And if the curfew is every 2 days or every 3 days, I still have a problem in that. If after 7 months or 4 months, every 2 or 3 days, there's a letter on the minister's desk to say curfew in Manchester and these places, there should be some other questions asked. People are dependent, their livelihood are dependent on some of these events that are being kept. people in a round robin lasts for 8 months or 9 months or even a year. 1 year. I want you to bear with me, Mr. Steve, because I think I reached the wit's end. I don't know what to tell the people anymore. A man raising his 200 chicken, and he raises a chicken every 8 weeks or 10 weeks because he is supplying members of the team with chickens who are having these parties. Once there is no party have been held, now the person who would generally raise 500 or 400 chicken don't have no chicken at all. That's one. The liquor stores that people used to go, whether borrow from or trust from or buy from, their sales are down because they have no people not buying any liquor from them. The supermarket is the same thing. No rice not sell, no nothing not sell, and all of that. And so people are confused. People are feeling the very pinch of it. And I'm not talking about poors alone. People don't know what to do. Because here it is, they can't raise chicken, nothing not sell, nothing not go on, and yet the problem we're having, and I told them yesterday, I said it to a gentleman, we're talking about mental health and people. If this continue for a longer period, people are going to literally walk naked on the streets more than they were used to before. I will tell you, domestic violence is going to increase because out of confusion, these parents who can't send them children to school, either the husband will start fight the wife or the wife fight the husband, or some problems are going to be happening. There's going to be the social problems arriving from all of this long 9 months and 12 months and 7 months of curfew. People standing up at the gateway and police driving through, go to your bed. When you send me on my bed now, and me in a yard and war start and little talking, if I get a chance, and it's the truth, if I get a chance to go talk with my friend, by the time I come in, my wife go on a bed, so if me and my wife it vex, then we don't have none to talk about again. But it is the truth, you know, Miss Light, because these are the factors that are facing the people, and these are the things that people bring up to you as their counselor or their persons to talk about. And so I am begging. I can't tell the police what to do, but I'm begging. The Manchester police has to sit down together, and we have to come up with ways and means of how we can help these people. If not, at the end of the day, we're going to have some serious social problems that the next 20 years we can't fix them. That's all I have to say. Yes, sir.
I listen keenly, Mr. Chair, and I do support as it relates to the night life. My division also has been affected in terms of the earning power for persons who operate business in the night and also have their round robin. And I would want it right across the board, or it is a Manchesterian strategy by the commanding officer as it relates to. So is it that it is the same thing in Clarendon, St. and all over, right? And if it is so, I believe the Minister of Security and the powers may be the Minister of we need to have a sit down with the corporations, right? And also look at the best way forward, because I know it is affecting our revenue as well. It is affecting the lives of persons within our space. So we can sit and have some discussion and put the best foot forward as it relates to the best thing that is for the country at this time, Mr. Chairman. But I am also feeling the pitch.
Thank you, Mr. Light. Inspector Light.
As it relates to this whole discussion of the curfew, that meeting last night, the whole issue of the curfew should have been ventilated. I was not at the meeting, so I am not privy to the information that was dispensed at the meeting, except what I would have seen in media. However, as you have all ventilated that there needs to be a sit-down, so I would hope that that sit-down meeting be held, so that discussion can be had with the High Command to work out the strategies going forward. As it relates to the party, Mr. Chairman, I am not in a position to speak to it.
Okay.
So I cannot give a definitive answer at this time. As it relates to whose responsibility it is to equip the JCF with people, that's the responsibility of the Minister of National Security. I am not aware that domestic disputes are up, but I know that some of the murders we have to do with disputes. Persons are not able to deal with interpersonal conflicts. Because as you would all be aware, that incident on Leaving Day, it would have been some conflicts that was not properly handled, and it was not brought to the attention of the police until there were fatalities. Like also that murder that occurred on Wards Avenue. So it's not really an issue of domestic disputes per se, but it's interpersonal conflicts.
In protecting her, that's beyond our pay grade. Council raised the vehicle and all of that. Is there anything being done for the Mile Gully area? Parishes of Manchester and St. Elizabeth is contributing. Flooding in vulnerable. Finally, we solved the long-standing issue of the Ward Avenue drain. Major cleanup, and we have rehabilitations of several roads after Hurricane Beryl. And I want to state for the records before you even stop that we had not received any additional funds from the ministry for this. This was done with our sources. The provision of weekly meals for street dwellers, ensuring consistent support for vulnerable population. During Hurricane Beryl, the department, in collaboration with the disaster coordinator and the health department, opened a dedicated shelter especially for street persons, in addition to the general shelters that were established in the parish. Executed significant renovations at the infirmary, improving the facility for residents. Planning and administrative achievements. The planning department continues to exceed specified standards, successfully processing 464 applications over the period. I want you to listen to this. And within the 90-day window, 371 were approved. Eh? Well, I tell you, I don't ready for him to the boy yet. No, man, I'm a goodbye speech. You see, it's 1 year after, you know, and people are still saying that they must see what parish council do. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to show it on the outside, because people think it's just road we fix or just street lights we deal with. There are other things that we do. And this one is a big deal. So, I want you to stand up and take a bow, sir. Well, hold on. I soon come to you. The administrative department remain committed to professional development training for both staff and councillors. Both staff and councillors completed the IMPRI training procurement related courses to ensure adherence to the government guidelines. Let me see if I can help them to understand this one now. Councillors like Councillor Miller, who else? Who are the other councillors? Simmet and Wilson were trained in dealing with procurement guidelines and all of that. And that has helped us very well in this council, because we are adhering to most of the, I wouldn't say all, to most of the procurement guidelines that are issued. Huh? Why? Exam score, I'm not a teacher by profession, but I would think they're in the 95. Right. 2 members of staff of the infirmary have completed training in psychiatric nurse care and will be graduating tomorrow. Training for councillors and members of staff by the Integrity Commission on how to declare their statutory declarations. Training of members of staff by the Ministry of Local Government in the Development Application Review Portal. Secretarial qualification done by our Secretary at Roads and Works. And this impactful and effective funding proposal attended by both Miss Director of Planning. Please stand, Miss Lowe, let them see you. And Ryan Wallace, Spatial Planner. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am extremely happy to be a part of this champion team. And I'd like to be a part of this champion team. And I'd like to ask the question.
To the team, and especially to you, Mr. Chairman, who have steadied the ship since we came. I think style we can learn from you. And with you for this year, I can only imagine the next step that you'll be taking. It will be much greater than what. Yes. And I want to say also on behalf of the division of Wallaston that we are in a better place this year than when we took over last year. I heard you made mention of the 30 pieces of roads.
Or more.
That have been done. I can proudly say that Wallaston has a...
July, the parish council responded. The parish council responded. And I am so happy for the response given to the Alligator Pond Division and the people from the Manchester Parish Council. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Any other announcements?
Not an announcement, Chairman, but a reminder. Please, officers, please file your declaration of assets. The caller just got a while ago, stepped out. He was actually from Integrity Commission.
Okay. Warning. I'm giving you a warning. Councillors and officers, make sure you file your declaration of assets before the due date. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as it relates to the collection of property tax, as at February 2024, for the month of February, we collected $47,806,144.07, slightly above what was collected in February of 2024, $47,196,582.77. But despite the fact that February was slightly ahead of last year, our year-to-date figure remains below last year. Our year-to-date figure is $778,617,745.42, compared to $790,447,383.71, Mr. Chairman. And to date, our collections we are 76% of our target, and just 72. For the month of February, 519,000.
Thank you, sir. I know 70% with 1 month to go. We can make the 100%, but please give the